Hello, everybody, and welcome to After Man of Medan. I'm Susie, coming at you with the #1 hottest Man of Medan spoiler cast. I'm joined today by the lovely Tom. Hello, Tom. How you doing?
Hi. Well, it's great to be here. I can't wait to talk about Man of Medan, all the different ways of people, escaping, dying, all the different scenes that I didn't see, all the different scenes that you did. I'm really excited. Really excited. So, yeah, I can't wait to get stuck in and see how those teenagers did. Yeah.
And Don, welcome. How's it going, friend?
It's good. It's good. We can talk about Man of Medan all day. We have been for a while already. You missed it. No, I'm doing great. Very happy to be here. We had a great session last week, and yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all goofs aside, this is After the Fyre, the #1 chat show about all things After the Fyre, which is, as you all know, a Greenmont and Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game campaign set very soon after the first Blackfyre rebellion. But we had a pretty big episode. We've been away for a little bit, and we came back, and oh boy, did we come back with a bang. This was the aftermath of the great battle of Vulture's Roost, which was actually very, very fun. I actually super enjoyed the battle. But like, before we get into this episode and the aftermath of the battle, what did you guys think of the battle, of the different sort of tactics that played out, the various characters, the things that happened? What are your general thoughts and feelings on the battle?
You go first, Don, seeing as you were one of the main commanders of the battle, I
think. Yeah, I enjoyed the battle a lot. My entire plan for the battle, and I'd been thinking about how this is going to go down, I don't know, for a couple of months probably before we ever got to this session. It was in the back of my head. It's like, I just got to be my armies have to be the first one there. If I'm the first one there, this is fine. If everybody else arrives, then I might be screwed. And that's exactly what happened. It started with that scene with Alistair basically saying, like, no, we're going to go in. You guys back off. You can go home, Ironwoods. And then us getting sandwiched between the elite forces, which is a surprise that the Vulture's bandits were as skilled as they were.
Mm-hmm.
And the Oakhearts and all the armies that were supposed to be the Ironwoods allies, in theory, kind of smashing them in the back.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Sorry. Again, still say testament to Sam's evil genius that he was like, Susie, you should be the one to play Gorman Peak. Like, why me? Why have I got to do it? Yeah, Tom, you were also there.
I was a commander. I was Babblebrook. He had very little to do, actually, considering he was taking up the rear, and he didn't really have much to do because the battle essentially descended into run as fast as you can to the keep. There wasn't much in the way of strategy because of that. Literally, it was just like a race to get to who could get to Blackmont quick. And I was surprised by how elite these I think Sam may have upped the difficulty there just to give you something to fight with rather than the rabble of just villagers that he described earlier. But you didn't want it too easy. It was interesting. I think it showed how certain characters work on a battlefield, and it showed a lot of Oliver, which I'm really interested in. Which I'm sure we'll get to further in the episode. But I enjoyed it, and considering it was our first time doing the warfare, really, I mean, we had a little one with Alfred, but it was very little. It wasn't proper armies. It was quite interesting, and I think, obviously, the more we do it, the more it'll become fluid. But I think it was quite fluid how we did it. It didn't turn out too badly at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the battle, like being a commander, playing Sir Gorman Peak myself, yeah, I was a bit intimidated because like it felt very wargamey to begin with. Like, you know, you're moving units around a battlefield. And I'm like, oh, but like it didn't feel too bad. Like, you know, I think Sam did streamline some things just for like ease, and we definitely moved more than we should have. But Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That sexy beard, though. That's why I did it. All about the beard. But yeah, and much like Don and Tom there, I was very surprised by how experienced the vultures were at the Roost, and oof, those units were pretty damn tough. And I think even Sam said there was a point where he should have outright killed one of Oliver's units, and Oliver should have outright killed one of his units, just because we missed how our rule worked. But like, those veteran units were scary. Dealt a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. And I also, I think the part that I really enjoyed about it, despite how personally, I'm not a big war gamer. I don't have a lot of experience with war games, but I did enjoy the routing and disorganized rules, so that when your army takes a beating and they run out of their hit points, their health, instead of immediately being destroyed, first they become disorganized, then they get routed, and then it sort of forces the commanders of the units to make tough decisions about, do they keep pushing them on and making warfare checks where they might be more prone to failure, because the more disorganized a unit gets, the harder it is to command them and to keep them controlled and doing what you're trying to get them to do. Or do we waste a turn and try to reorganize them while this other unit's like slamming us in the back, and you've got like archers shooting down at us? I thought of all the mechanics and the strategy, I thought that was the most interesting part for me.
And it really, like, it's one thing that you don't often see, and it's like how it reflects what happens on a battlefield, right? You get your initial smash where the two lines just smash into each other. But then once the melee starts and those groups, those tactics begin to break down because your commanders are getting like pushed out and men are killing men and it's all chaos. It was such a good way to sort of demonstrate that and have that play out in the field and have that mean something mechanically as well as in the story. It's like, it's a really cool mechanic. I hope we get more battles. I honestly do. That battle for Dawn.
Is Miria going to be on the front lines?
No.
She's going to be overlooking, like
she's gonna
like
be up
like
there
a
on
true
the bluff.
commander.
Yeah, in her armor,
overlooking,
standards blowing in the wind as she's there, like looking down. Yes,
dirty peasants.
Fight for me. Anyway, speaking of Miria, shall we get on with the episode? Because scene 1 had her in it. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this scene 1 was at Ironwood. Miria was working away in the solar, cleaning those quills. Thanks, Don. And in comes Horatio, all swagger, illuminated by the candles that Miria was working by. And he's like, "What's up, niece?" And then he's all like, "How did you even get to be my niece?" And Miria's like, "Well, when a mummy and a daddy love each other very much, and they hug in a special way."
I love the sass.
It's like, well, surely, uncle, I shouldn't have to tell you how it's done. I'm 13. Come on. But yeah, Horatio comes in and he's trying to probe and poke holes in Miria's story because, as we know, when he arrived, he could sense that something wasn't quite right with the story. However, going back to it, he shouldn't have found out because Sam did a retarget back then coming into Ironwood, and he didn't tell me it was a retarget. So he just went off my passive deception and not the thing that I also add to that. So if that had been the case, he'd have been like, "Oh my God, hello," and not suspected me.
Well, you live and learn.
You live and learn, and I like it more in the fiction this way, that air of suspicion, that tension, because we always knew there was going to be tension with Horatio anyway, because he's a fucker, but just that extra, like, I know you're lying, you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that you're lying.
Yeah, it's the game, and you're playing on the game.
It's the game, right?
Yeah.
And that was really... And that was really what this scene was about, right? It's the intrigue of Horatio going, "I know you're lying to me. I need to catch you in the lie so I have this evidence and I can use it against you." And Miria is going, "I know you're trying to catch me in a lie, so I'm going to be really good at lying and also not get caught." And I think, in a way, Miria was very clever in that scene, as in she really, the only lie she told was that Oliver had told her that she was his daughter. Everything else was true. She was raised at Greenmont alongside the Greenmont children. Her mother did die on the birthing bed, you know? She did only recently find out that she was a Sand because they constructed this lie together. So she's really not lying a whole lot. Because Miria, with her skills in lying, is smart enough to know that you keep your lies as close to the truth as possible. You don't create these elaborate stories because that is how you get caught, because you can't keep it straight. And it explains things. So if it was, you know, if somebody did say, hang on, she's going by Casella Sand, she was Miria Greenmont when she arrived. And she could be like, well, of course I was Miria Greenmont when I arrived because I thought I was a Greenmont, but apparently I wasn't. What about that, right? And very luckily, Miria rolled like a little beast, and Sam couldn't roll for shit last week, which was so lucky. Thank you, dice gods. So Miria ended up winning that intrigue, and as a consequence, because charm is like her strongest thing, she actually improved Horatio's disposition towards her. So he views her as amiable now because he was at like disinterested before. Or indifferent, I think that's what it is. And it also helps in Miria's disposition to Horatio was dislike. So she had that little bump to lying to him too. So he's amiable to her now. Whether or not that's the case by the end of the episode is another thing entirely. But Miria won the intrigue, and she, for a time being, bought herself some security at Ironwood. We also learned as well that Horatio is just a horrible piece of shit. In that opening monologue, Sam was saying, you know, Sam narrates that at the dinner table, Lady Jane is also there, and Horatio's boasting about their wedding night, and she's all smiles and nodding and agreeing. But on a nighttime, Miria hears her crying, and she hears these secret cries near her rooms, which immediately I was like, "That's terrible. I can use this." Because that's just where you're at now with Game of Thrones. But yeah, I was worried a bit how Sam was very much like, you know, Daemon's there, right? 2-on-1, 2-on-1. Hey, I'm like, Sam, stop! No, that's such a bad idea. What are you doing? Stop
He knows.
it.
He knows you secretly want to shank someone. He knows, and he's
he was
poking
fishing.
at that. He was.
He super was. But as well, Daira being there is part of my cohort benefit. So whenever Daira is next to me, my combat defense and my intrigue defense are raised by 2. So she's super handy to have around, which sounds terrible. Like, oh yeah, she's just handy to have there in the background.
She's like your pet in an MMO or something, isn't she? She's a stat.
A question from Charlie there in chat. Do we know who Daira's parents are yet? We do not, actually.
No, I think so.
She is a Storm, so she is a bastard of the Crownlands, I believe.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So she's we know nothing about her, which I probably should find out about her. Huh?
And they don't name like lowborn.
No.
Like that. They have to be at least, you know, like someone of note to have the surname of that, don't they?
Mm-hmm. She has to be a noble's bastard to have that name, and an acknowledged one too. So her father has acknowledged that she is his child. Which was the whole thing with the Game of Thrones season 8 when Gendry's like, "Oh, I'm Gendry Rivers."
Yeah.
No, you're not. You were never acknowledged. Shut up. You're just
Exactly.
Gendry. But she was found in Baratheon's court, so maybe she was a Baratheon bastard.
I mean, those Baratheons love to shag.
Sounds accurate.
Wait, does she have dark hair? Because we all know the seed is strong with the Baratheons.
Do you know what? I can't remember.
We'll have to go back. We'll have to
Yeah,
find
I
out.
can't remember if she has dark hair.
When did we first see Daira? It was
God,
a long time ago
shoot.
now.
It was like episode 1 or episode 2.
Yeah,
Right.
it was very long.
Yeah.
It was like your first
It was my
episode,
first.
wasn't
yeah.
it?
It was my first scene, even.
Yeah. Bloody hell, I don't know. I can't remember.
So I have two questions about this intrigue
Mhm.
with Horatio. The first question is, because I can't remember, did Horatio make a deception check of his own? Did he use deception?
I think he used act at one point,
Yeah,
like
I don't think
deception
he used
act.
deception. No, because I
Um,
It's
don't
like the
think he was
metagamer in me just
lying.
kind of, the metagamer in me wants to know
mhm.
Horatio's deception skill. I think that's a
Uh,
really important thing to know.
I don't think he did. He
I don't
didn't
think he did
have
either.
to, did he? Because he was the one
No.
grilling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
And
throwing his weight around.
yeah, he was just,
Mhm.
yeah, as the slime ball he is.
Yeah, because like, what questions did he ask? He asked,
How
how
you became his
yeah. So
bastard.
basically, who's your mother?
It was all about you.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
who's your mother? And then I said, well, she died. I don't know anything about her, which was a little half truth. And then he went straight from that to, well, then Oliver raised you, and she was like, well, yeah. And he went by himself, and she's like, no. And then she had to explain about Greenmont. And then
Yeah.
then it was, did he tell you all about Ironwood? Has he told, is everything as you expected? Everything as you expected? And Miria's like, yes, fuck you. And then she was so sassy in that intrigue. It was just coming out my face, and I'm like, oh my god, Miria, why? And then what else was there? Oh, then he told her that she should just fuck off. He was like, you're more than welcome here, but I can't guarantee your safety. And she's like, why? Are you going to kill me? And he's like, well, no, but... And she's like, I'll stay put until my dad gets back. I've been very welcomed here. Very welcomed by your mum and dad. And he's like... I think that was it, really, questions-wise.
I think so. I can't...
Do you think that... Do you think that his amiable disposition towards Miria will protect her at all from him? Knowing what we...
Fuck no!
Not with the way the episode ended, but I have plans. I have ideas how I may be able to rescue this. Not with necessarily Horatio, but I can definitely attempt to rescue it with Mama Ironwood and Lady Jane. I have machinations for these two people and the Men of Ironwood. I have a plan for that, but we'll get to that later. So it was a relatively short scene, but I feel like it was a good scene. It showed that Miria is, she's been kind of on the defensive for a little while. She's been on the back foot. And this is where you really see Miria step up and show her salt in the sort of intriguey way, because she's been very much at the mercy of other people at the minute. And she's just like, she gave Horatio as good as he gave, basically. So after that, we then cut to Vulture's Roost, and there's Oliver, Peake, Tarly, Alistair, having this little chat. Oh no, it was Mara first. Actually, it was Mara arriving, and she's seeing the horrors of war. She's seeing these people dead on the battlefield or near dead, men crying out for their mothers or each other or their friends as they're dying on the battlefield. Like, birds have descended already. The vultures are literally eating vultures. And she's horrified by it, rightly as she should be, because she's imagining what it was like at Redgrass for her brothers. And she's like she kneels down to attend to one of the soldiers, and he's fucked, and she's got covered in blood. She's clutching this letter, which I think was a real good scene for Mara, because warfare had been very theoretical to her, and stuff she's only heard about, and she's seen the horror, which was really cool. So she's making her way to Vulture's Roost with this letter of get the fuck back home from Marcia, by way of Maekar. And then we come to the tower, where we have the little treat with Oliver, Peake, Tarly, and Alistair. And the intrigue sort of happened, and it was really good. It was good to see intrigue happen with people who aren't intriguey. And Oliver's making his case for you take the men, don't care about them. I want Blackmont. I've got fucking business with Blackmont. Tarly's like, no, you must go to Highgarden to answer for the raids and the crimes and fucking. Peake's like, nah, he's come to Starpike. And Alistair's like, but. And Oliver's just like, shut up. My favorite bit of the whole episode. Punched him in the lips.
He needed a good slap.
He needed it.
Yeah.
And I feel like right from the beginning of the scene too, Sam was like presenting Peake to me as a player. He's like, yeah, Peake, like the scene starts out, it's right after the battle ends and Oliver has just defeated Blackmont. And then Peake storms in, kill steals, pulls Oliver off of Blackmont. And he's like, he's mine. And that's how we left last session. And this session starts off. And the first thing that Sam describes is like, Peake turns his back to you. So like his back's right in front of you. And then Sam pauses and he waits for me to say, I stab Peake in the back. And
yeah.
Like,
Sam is really gunning for a death. He's really going for it.
Oh yeah. But then Alistair, like I'd completely, like my brain as a player, I'd shut down that he was there. Because in the battle, like he's the Alistair, who's Mara's husband, is the reason why the Ironwood forces ended up getting sandwiched between who should have been their allies and these bandits. He didn't communicate to Peake or to Tarly that Ironwood was going to be there and that Ironwood had plans to move ahead of them. And in the middle of the battle, even Peake, like there's even that moment where like Peake and Oliver see each other, and then Gorman Peake pulls back. He stops attacking Oliver's troops. But Alistair was still like, no, fuck you. I'm going to keep stabbing. I'm going to keep pushing forward. And I'd forgotten that he was there up in the Roost with the rest of us. So I like as a player, I was mad to see him there. And then when he started talking, I was like, stop it.
But that combat roll you rolled was like monstrous. So Sam's like, yo, but do you want to hurt him though? And you're like, no, just humiliate him a bit. Stop him talking. Just punch him in the lips. Which,
although getting punched, it sucks.
Yeah, I've been punched in the lips before, and that shit sucks. And then Sam describes him just bowling over backwards and like everyone drawing weapons and getting arsey, and then Peake very commandedly just like lifts a hand and just like shuts down the whole room. Like from moment one, Peake is ruling this room. Like Tarly, Alistair, and the other people are there, but Peake's the one in charge, and he's very much putting himself forward as the man in charge here. Which then we get like into the intrigue proper, where Peake and Oliver just start like, it's like a head-to-head. They're just arguing about what to do, and Peake's like, these fucking Dornish, I've lost 2 of my castles, and now they're raiding my last fucking one. No, I'm not having this. He's gonna come back to Starpike, and I'm gonna fucking kill him for it or whatever. And Oliver's like, no. Nah, it wasn't the Dornish that got rid of your 2 castles. That was the Targaryens. He doesn't say Targaryens, but he's like, it was not the Dornish who took your 2 castles from you, friend. And Peake's like, whoa, steady on with that kind of chat here, because that's dangerous talk. And he gets like really arsey and storms off. Quits the intrigue, goes off after they've had Blackmont taken up, and he's like hanging by a noose. Which Oliver then just turns to Tarly and goes, yo, Blackfyre 2, you in? Come back with me to Ironwood. We got... Tarly's like, I can't go to Dawn? Are you fucking shitting me?
But he agreed. I was so surprised.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he agreed, to be honest. I was kind of like, what? I would have thought he would have at least chatted back to try and get some neutral ground for the meeting or something, something a little in between. But he's just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Do you, a richer man, want to come to Dawn?
To Dawn, yeah. Don't worry, we've got lots of food and wine that's totally
big
not
house.
Poisonable.
Big house. Tons of room. Nobody there anymore.
once the intrigue was going and I kind of realized like, oh, I think I could win this against both of them. I think I can take them both down.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had this idea to try to win them both for Oliver. And this is what Oliver would do in this situation. These are two old allies, and how many opportunities like this present themselves
Absolutely.
To make meaningful strides towards his goals. And so, his idea was to incite Gorman Peak, and incites a technique that you can use in this game. And how you win the final thing you do in an intrigue decides basically like the impact it has on that NPC, how they react to you, what you can get out of them. So if I used convince, which Oliver's better at convincing than he is at inciting, but if I use convince, then I could convince them to maybe go with me to Ironwood, which is what I did with Tarly, what Oliver did with Tarly. But with Gorman, I incited him thinking like, if I can make him pissed off at the Targaryens, maybe I'll get what I want that way. It ended up having a different impact on Peak than what I anticipated, but that's a different scene.
Yeah, it's a little. But it's around this point when Mara arrives and she's like, yo, we gotta get out of here. Maekar's on his way. He's pissed. You're all breaking the law. And yeah, Greenmont troops, go home. And Alistair's like, what? Behind his padded handkerchief, crying like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Another strong moment there from Alistair.
Strong moment. Strong moment from everybody's problematic, because he's no longer everybody's fave, because he's big old racist and bad. Alistair crying there in the corner, worried he's gonna get in trouble with Mummy and Daddy for breaking the law, and the prince. And Mara kind of looks at Oliver and Tarly, and she's like, whatever this is, I don't want it. No. Nah. You're doing Blackfyre too. Nope, not me. Nah. I saw what happened the first time. Not getting involved. But it was very sweet that Oliver and Mara had that little reunite moment, because it's the first time they've seen each other since Mara got married. And they had that very tender sort of that moment when Mara's like, I'm really not going to convince you to not do this, am I? And Oliver's like, let's not talk about that, because Oliver, he doesn't want to say to her, yes, I'm going to absolutely still do this even though you don't want me to. Like, this is terrible, I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. Tough. And he sort of smooths over the situation, gives her a hug, kisses the top of her head. It's very, very sweet. Yeah, how did you feel about reuniting with Mara after so long?
I loved it because for Oliver, the first episode we saw him in way back at the beginning was with Mara at her wedding. And there's this moment where before the tourney, before the wedding, the Oakharts, which are well-documented racists, try to basically keep him out. Like, they wouldn't let him come in. And Mara had this the first time we see her really be strong and say like, no, you're going to do what I say because you're wrong. And I'm a lady. That was the first time we saw that out of Mara, was when she basically stood up for Oliver. And then there was the tournament where he was using Blackfyre lances, and she had to talk him out of that situation. And he's poisoned, climbing through the crowd so that he can lay the crown at her feet and name her the Queen of Love and Beauty at the end of the tournament. That was the last time they saw each other. And so I love that they came back together. They had this tender moment. And also Mara remembers now that she probably can't talk Oliver out of doing whatever he's going to do. But I really liked the choice that even though she disagrees, that there was still that and that he just punched her husband in the mouth. There's still a really strong love between the two of those characters. I liked it a lot.
Charlie raised a good point there. Oliver also knows that you don't let Mara talk, because she could talk the paint off a door, right? She could charm the wool off a sheep. Like, this woman, if she's talking, then you're done. And Oliver's kind of like, no talk. There. Go with your shitbag husband. Fuck off. I also love how V there didn't metagame and just like, why is Alistair acting so weird in front of Oliver? That's whatever. And I love when Oliver moves and Alistair's like, because he's shit. Nobody likes him anymore. Get wrecked, Alistair. But yeah, so Mara comes to take Alistair and the Greenmont host away. And the discussion of Blackfyre to Electric Boogaloo happens. And Oliver then says, right, Tarly in the bag, let's go get Peak. Descends the tower into Vulture's Roost. That scene didn't happen yet. Well, no, wait. Does that happen straight away? We go straight from that to...
No, I think it'd go to you, right?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. Because
Did it just go
No.
straight into
you,
it?
yeah,
Did
it goes straight up.
We do.
Yeah.
I think it was all one long scene.
Yeah,
Fucking
it
hell.
was. It was one long extended
It was
scene.
a Tarantino scene.
Yeah, well, it
Right.
was kind of like a split intrigue, right? So the intrigue started with
Yeah.
Peak in the bottom and then up top with Peak. I did want to get some clips together for this, but for some reason Twitch's clips thing is broken at the minute. It will not give you the time you clip. It gives it like 3 minutes later or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Oliver goes upstairs and Peak is like just needlessly menacing Blackmont. He's like dangling him off the edge and like punching him and like just, I don't know, taking out his frustration, I think, on Blackmont.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he was so aggressive. I mean, don't get me wrong, Blackmont's a Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like Dornish and he blames the Dornish for doing it. But Blackmont specifically,
I think
it was weird.
I think it's just more the fact that this raider thing, right? Like Peak's lands had been raided.
Yeah.
And as far as he knew, it was Blackmont that's doing it. Because Peak doesn't know that Blackmont has only very recently become the Vulture King. Like that information is not made publicly aware, I don't think.
I was thinking about this a lot because trying to figure out, what's Peak's motivations, like what was going on, because we'll probably never really know now for sure. And imagine imagine that you're like a sixth grader bully, right? You're a big kid and you're a bully, but there's this eighth grade kid and he's a bigger bully and he picks on you. What do if you can't stop him? You can't fight him. He keeps taking, he steals your bike. What do? You can't beat up this eighth grader. So you go and you look for the fourth grader and you start picking on him. And that's the feeling I got from Peak, was that he's lost so much and he doesn't have the resources or the ability to do anything about it, to fight the Targaryens anymore. And so here's something he can do. He can beat the hell out of this, bandit lord that's already defeated. And that's I felt like that's maybe what was going on here.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening there. Charlie, to answer your question in chat there, Peak, I don't think Peak was actually behind the false raiders. I think it was Costain. I think it was Costain trying to incite Peak and his lords to start some bullshit. I think that's what we found out with Simon in Highgarden, with doctoring the reports, and the way Costain was trying to get to Alistair really early on in the travels to Highgarden. Because everybody knows that Peak is a hothead. Everybody knows that Peak is a man of action and not necessarily a man of words or diplomacy. So Costain would know that the best way to get Peak to do shit is to just piss him off in a personal way and to set up these false. You just thought Peak was the name Oliver was given? I can't remember. It's so long ago now.
The scene where all this happened was the scene that I absorbed and understood the least of all of the scenes that I've been in. I felt like I just missed something when it was said.
Yeah.
So I still have a struggle like figuring out exactly what happened there. But Peak was definitely one of the fake houses involved. But
yeah.
I don't know if that was Peak's men, because the clothing that they were described to have been wearing, the heraldry and everything, it looked like a kindergartner had made it, right? When we got close, it was basically like, no, now that you're this close, you can kind of tell this doesn't look real.
Yeah, like there's really wonky, dodgy looking scorpions on here. And wait, is that? It's like the Chinese knockoff of, like a proper tabard, right? But I don't know. That's when I think there's a lot of confusion on with that scene, and I'm definitely gonna have to like go back and rewatch and figure out just what was revealed in that scene. Because I think there's a lot of names flying around, and because at that time as well, like it was not early on, but earlier on into our sort of deep dive into Westeros, so the names are like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Why do these will tab ads say made in Tyrosh? But yeah, so Peak is up there and he is having a real go at Blackmont, who is bound by the neck, wrists, feet. He's just all bound up in rope, and he's being dangled over the very edge that he had been dangled over previously by the first Vulture King. A return to the horrible ledge. Matt, I believe a rewatch may be in order. I'm down for that always. And could Lady Redwine be behind the raids is an interesting question from Pope there. I mean, I believe in my wife, you know.
I mean, she really doesn't like any of the Blackfyre supporters, and she's trying to weed them out. And what's the best way to get insight for Blackfyre supporters? Have the Dornish attack, because they don't like Dorne. So maybe.
I don't know.
But
I feel
even
like
if she is, though, who would she be doing it on behalf of?
Yeah,
That's
she'd
true.
be doing it under orders.
Like who does Redwine really work for? Because I'm not convinced.
It ain't Leo Tyrell, that's for damn sure.
No.
Nah. I think she's probably working on behalf of somebody else, or even herself, right? Because she's a very ambitious woman, as we know. She may be looking to just get herself in a good position. But who knows? She might be working for Spooky Brynden. She may be. Maybe a Targy. She could be on a Targy payroll. We don't know. We know nothing about her, but she's so cool. We need to get somebody back to Highgarden so we can talk to her. Tinfoil Desmare is a Blackfyre agent. That is some tinfoil. I don't know. Anyway, back to the present scene at hand. So, Peak's again punching Blackmont, and Oliver's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this about? Give me him. Like, what are you doing?" And Peak's like, "You don't want this guy, Fear God's daughter. You want him for some fucking revenge. I can see it in your eyes." And Oliver's like, no. Like, we can fix this. We can do something here. You know, we could be rash. We could do stupid things, or we could be clever right now. We can pick our moment and we can strike. You know, we used to be comrades. Think about what we used to fight for. You know, the Dornish didn't take castles. It was somebody else. Fucking help me out here. Give a brother a fucking bone, right? Like, this is, ugh. Stop being a moron for 2 seconds and think about what you're doing. Peak's like, nah, fuck you. That's not the talk of warriors. That's courtly talk. That's deception. Blah, blah, blah. And Oliver comes out with some tinfoil. Get your hats ready, folks. Oliver's response is like, I'm not doing this for revenge. I'm doing this for love of I'm doing it for love. Everybody was like, I could hear the collective crinkling around the world as the hats were reached for.
You're such a troll, dog.
Absolute
you really
troll.
Are.
100% troll. It was great. Because it was just such the perfect moment, right? There's been a couple of moments where tinfoil bombs could have been dropped, but you just sort of like dangle them. Just a little dangle. It was great. It's just a little hint. But it was a great moment, and Peak was unimpressed. He's like, I don't believe you. And to quote Sam, "You want the cunt, go get him," and pushes him off the tower. And my heart sunk. And my fucking stomach dropped. And I was like, oh, fucking this goodbye plan I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do now. Goodbye, plan. You've just gone flying off the tower. Oliver dives to try and catch him. Peake pulls a knife, and the fight begins. So before the fight, how did you feel there, Don, going up to that intrigue, seeing Peake in this state? What was your approach?
So, Oliver is a very confident and overconfident person, and going up the stairs after winning the battle, calming down both sides of the forces, slapping Alistair in the face, convincing Tarly to meet him, to join him at Castle Ironwood, which Tarly is a large, very skilled army. Showing back up with them would make him feel a little bit more comfortable in his ambitions about trying to. Well, yeah. Anyway, so very confident going upstairs. He's made Peake mad, but he knows Peake. Peake's an asshole. Peake's prone to rage, but he thinks, I think Oliver, as he's approaching him, thinks like, we were both Kingsguard.
Mm-hmm.
We were both as close as any two knights could be, in terms of having to trust each other. And I think that Peake is ready to tilt. I think that I can get Peake to my side right now. But when he throws that, like, you're not doing this because of justice, you're doing this for revenge. And I think Oliver realized that Peake was just projecting his own rage onto other people. That was the moment that I was like, oh, this is about to get really bad. And then he throws Blackmon over the edge, and I was like, it's okay. I'm good dice. I can save him. Nope. And then there's the moment where Sam basically says, like, I'm going to throw you over. And I was like, well, wait a second. I can like move away, right? Like, you can't actually use that command to knock me over. If I'm aware that the edge is there, you can't push me over. And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to spend a destiny point, and if I roll a 20, you go over. And he immediately clicked the button. Like, he's like, I'm going to do this. And it was a 19. He rolled a 19.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was listening to it again today at work, like a rebel when I should have been working. And the bit where Sam's like, fuck it, I spend a destiny. If I hit you, you're over, you're done. And just bam. And then you just go, oh, you were one away from hitting me. You were like one away from killing me. And I'm like, I remember being there at the time, like, that scene, oof.
That was so Sam rolled a 66 and had to roll a 20. So what is that? Like, an average roll should have been a 21. So I had over a 50% chance of dying in that moment. And it happened so fast. That was pretty tense. That was pretty tense. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that it kind of just escalated out of nowhere. Just like whoop, just went to 11 real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand Peake tossing Blackmon out because he just wants revenge. It was the part where you tried to grab and you didn't, and then he tried to toss you, and I went, "Oh, Peake, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing?" I mean, okay, sure, you kill Blackmon, and Oliver's going to be pissed off, and I mean, really pissed off. But why are you tossing Oliver out at the same time? That doesn't. I didn't see his logic. So all I could assume is that Peake had just gone. He was just full of revenge, rage, and he was just going for it. And that's all I
really think that it was the result of me using insight in the intrigue previously. Like, if I had used a more subtle approach to finish that intrigue, then maybe Peake wouldn't have been so prone to lashing out. I don't know. Maybe he thought that if Blackmon and Ironwood died, that he would gain some sort of political leverage to start a war with Dorne, or he would incite Dorne. I don't know if like Peake is that cunning. I'm not convinced that he is.
No.
But now we'll never know.
No, I think he might have just seen two enemies.
I think that's probably it. I think he cracked it. Frustration, anger, and then also there's like the political standpoint he finds himself in. Because he is well aware that he's associated with traitors. Like, he was a member of Blackfyre, and by the mercy of the crown. He's still got a position, but like he's wandered into enemy lands. Well, not enemy. He's wandered into new territory lands, new allies. He's fucking just killed one of the lords, and Oliver, who was one of Daemon's dudes, is right here offering him an alliance. I think part of that was like, fuck. He's like between a rock and a hard place. Now, I don't know if Peake is actually that canny to have really thought about that in that time and moment, but I think it was more just the anger, the frustration, the just cracked it in the moment. And he pulls a knife and tries to take Oliver out. And there's a horrible, like, it was a tense ass fucking fight up there at the top. Oliver is like, pushes him off, pulls out his halberd, then he's like, shit, we're in a close quarters, has to back up onto the stairs. Doesn't get hit by Peake though, right? Peake didn't manage to land a hit on Oliver.
He got one.
Oh, he got one.
Yeah.
But Oliver has that anointed thing.
Oh,
yeah, that
God.
combo.
Mm-hmm.
So Oliver has this benefit called anointed, and anointed doesn't seem that great at first. It's just once per session you can add +5 to all of your passive defenses or all of your passive scores, and I think you can add +2 to intrigue or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so Oliver used this in the moment, like I think he said, like, you're no knight, when Peake was attacking him, but that +5 like reduces Peake's degrees of success by 1, which reduces 6 damage off of his total damage. So after Oliver's armor, after all of his health is dropped, it ends up being an injury instead of a wound. And that's really significant for the fight, that Oliver didn't take a second wound. He took an injury, and getting an injury or a wound for Oliver triggers his Berserker thing. So he gets to counterattack immediately.
Fucking OP, man. That is the most OP ability I've ever seen.
Which is why, as we've said many times before, if you want to kill Oliver, you do it at a distance with many arrows.
Yeah, you just pummel him with arrows and hope he doesn't get close enough. Because if he's close, you're done.
Yeah.
You are done.
Oh, you get so close that he can't hit you with his halberd.
Yeah, hug him. Hug him so hard.
Hug him to death. But yeah, so with the fight, and I think it was the final blow, he like split his head in two like a melon.
It was great. Well, like a watermelon.
Yep. And it's the first time I think in the entire campaign when I was offered the choice of I defeat like a named character. You always get the choice in the game. Like, how do you want to beat them? You can send them to the wall. Although we've seen that not work. You can like sweep them and knock them out. You can have them arrested or disgraced. You can make their lips swell up real big. I think it's the first time Oliver chose to murder instead of just disabling.
It was very fitting for the time. Oh yeah, very fitting.
Yeah, and I was mad too. I was so mad.
Well, I mean, your God's daughter was basically doomed, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Doomed her.
Well, you win the battle. You sacrifice your men. You go through all this work. You succeed. You have Blackmont. You defeat Blackmont. You capture him. You talk everybody into letting you leave with him, and then Peake throws him out the window. And you're like, now, like I'm gonna go home and do what? Like Miria needs, if she ever wants to legally be Miria again, she needs to be pardoned. And Blackmont's really the only person that can corroborate her story. And now he is splattered on a mountainside. She's not probably.
Well, yeah.
So here's the tinfoil, right? Here's the tinfoil. We never saw his body.
Come on.
He died off screen. We don't know. Camera might have panned down. He might have been gripping on with his fucking teeth. Or his fingers.
He's still hanging there.
His son at the end turns up, might have seen, oh, there's my dad on the tower. I'm just going to pretend and walk away and go get him later. You don't know?
You can dream. You can dream.
That's why it's tinfoil. But yeah, so Peake's head, like a watermelon, off Peake goes to join Blackmont. But yeah, so Don, what the fuck are we going to do now? What's the plan?
I don't know. I have no plan. And the end of that scene too, right? With Tarly, he goes back down. He's like, sorry, they're both dead. Tarly's like, what happened? I lost Tarly too. He was all ready to take his army and follow me to Castle Ironwood. And then he's like, actually, we should communicate from afar. We should coordinate from afar.
I'll call you.
He's gone. In his mind, this didn't happen now. He said, Roost, Vulture's Roost didn't happen. He didn't leave. His army didn't go. I wasn't here.
Yeah.
He goes.
So just like, it was the worst outcome for Oliver. 100% the worst outcome. You know, Blackmont's dead. Peake is dead. Tarly is never going to call. And some of his troops got reduced in veterancy because they got beat up real bad. Like,
they got
losses.
obliterated. They got absolutely mullered through that.
I think his knights, which are their best troops, Ironwood's best troops, went from elite to veteran, which is not an insignificant drop.
No,
it's not great. It's not ideal. I need them.
It's not going to be a hero's welcome, really, is it? Back to Iron.
So I have a glory point. I could spend it to like reorganize them before I return. I have to really think, like, do I want to spend it? Because I only have one glory point, and they're kind of hard to get. They're kind of hard to come by in this game.
Didn't Sam say you have to use the glory point to the house instead of you personally or something? Didn't he say something like that? I can't remember.
So oh no, I can't. No, I think the glory point you can give to the house, or you can spend it yourself. It's like optional.
Okay, got you.
One way or the other. And we had one other glory point we got from winning that tournament way back at the beginning.
That was it. I remember. What did you use that glory point for?
I think that went to Greenmont to help get the Hollow Hearts. I think it contributed to that.
So yeah.
The new, the house guard that we have now that we didn't have at the start.
The really good stuff.
So it's gonna be real good when Miri's at Ironwood going, my dad's gonna be back soon and he's gonna be big triumphant hero, and he comes back all fucked up and there's like
blood everywhere,
knights coming back all fucked up, and she's like, oh Jesus.
And she comes out, so how did it go?
Where's my uncle? Oh,
it was almost perfect.
It was almost too good of a plan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
I mean,
that happened.
You're not out of options, it's just the remaining options aren't very good. I mean, one of the options is a really sucky one, and that's rely on Targaryen mercy. Which is like bottom of the barrel kind
I would rather die.
Right.
Me personally, Susanna Grace would rather die than rely on Targaryen mercy.
I have a flow chart. There's a flow chart of possibilities, and none of them include relying on Targaryen mercy.
It's kind of like you could go and say, tell him the truth and hope he believes you. I did say they were all bad, right? I did say, when
has the truth ever mattered? No, that's a fucking quote.
True. Particularly in Game of Thrones.
Right? And I don't feel like it would help the situation either with Mireia or with Greenmont and the baby, because Maekari's never giving that child back. So even if Mireia did go, look, hey, it's me, your girl. I'm coming back home. Are you going to bed for me at Summerhall? Did you miss me? He's not giving that baby back.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
It's too valuable.
That's it. And you'll be just married off to some person miles away that he just, doesn't really care.
Like, who's got 2 coppers for this fucking wench? Here you go. She's yours.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nah. That ain't what I'm about. Hey, Targs, it's your girl. Next time on Westeros Unsolved. So yeah, speaking again of Mireia, we go back to Ironwood, and she's woken up at the crack of dawn by Daemon. She's dressed in...
Just when you think things can't get worse.
Oh boy, just when Susie's heart is in her fucking stomach because everything terrible just happened. Hold on to your knickers, kids, because all right, we have a training session. Miria's dressed very cutely. She's got a little oversized shirt and she's rolled the sleeves up. She's got little trousers on, little slippers. And Daemon is teaching her how to fight in the yard. And she's laid out all these weapons. Some of them are patently ridiculous for a child, a young girl of 13 to be looking at, right? Like a long sword is laid out. There's like axes and shit. And Miria would look at them and be like, got noodle arms. The fuck am I gonna do with a longsword? Like, I can't even lift this. She does eye the halberd and the spear a little bit like, oh, that's what Oliver uses. I might, maybe. But she's held a dagger before. She knows a little bit about daggers. She's seen them in action, so she goes for that. Dare's like, come at me, scrub. She's like, all right. And then she does like a good hit, and Dare's like, oh, all right, yeah, do it again. And she does it even better. She does a little feint and just like slices at her side. And Daira's like,
I think that's like all the pent up frustration of wanting to shank someone finally came out.
It's the 3 times that Miria has been ready to step in and kill someone and has been stopped by somebody killing the other person.
She wants
every
that
time.
blood.
She's like, want it. So yeah, like Daemon's kind of like shocked that Miria is actually even martially capable because, like, let's be real, Miria's got this little like sweet energy about her. You know, she's very, very courtly, but apparently she can fucking stab a fool if she needs to. So Daemon like teaches her and talks her through like the theoretical and like training, shows how to do it, and mechanics wise, I get an extra bonus dice to my next fighting test that I choose to use it on. So I'm a little bit extra stabby. And there's some other dudes in the yard, and at first they're like, what is happening here? Look at this kid with the fucking knife, and this woman training her, like this Stormlander training this young girl how to fight. What? But after a while, they're like, all right, yeah, go kid. She gets nods of approval. I feel like Miria will be like,
yeah. I do have a question.
yes.
Let's say Miria continues fighting, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah. What would be her weapon of choice?
I don't know. I think it will depend how she physically develops. If she's because she's not particularly tall. She's like average size, which however whatever average size is for a 13-year-old. I don't know. I was about 6 foot tall at 13. I don't know.
Yeah. So your average kind of is skewed.
My average is I don't know, right? I feel like as long as she remains quite small and dainty, she would still favor the dagger because it's good for close quarters. It's fast, it's light, it's easily concealable. So if she does continue to dual sharp rocks, exactly.
That's what made me laugh.
Stabby rocks. You know, they're easily concealed weapons. So if she does continue to get a hand on the fighting, she's not gonna have to walk around with a longsword at her hip. She could like strap a dagger to her thigh if she needed to, you know, like, and just have it there, or like have one in her bodice or something. You know, you can keep a dagger wherever.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I kind of saw her, if she really wanted to go for the martial kind of thing, a rapier. It's long, thin, it's elegant, it kind of matches her, it's quick.
Yeah.
And I could totally see her kind of like using the grace, keeping the grace that she earned in court, but having it into the movement. So it's like a Bravossi
like a dance.
Dancer.
Yeah, I could see that with her.
I could see her
taking her dancing. I could see like the montage, right, of her dancing as a little girl as she gets older, and then the dance turns into like sword movements.
I could totally see it.
I could see that. Yeah, it's a bit too Arya Stark for me because Arya's sword is basically a rapier.
It is, yeah. That was my only kind of like hesitation for mentioning it because it is quite close to Arya, isn't it? But I think she has a smaller.
Oh, you're muted, Don.
Proper one.
What about a whip?
A whip would be very cool. It would be very cool. It'd be very sand snakey, which I would be into.
Would be.
I feel like if fighting is, I just muted myself. I feel like fighting is if that's something Miria keeps up with, she would definitely expand her knowledge out of one weapon. so she's able to use stuff. She definitely learned how to use a polearm, and I feel like that would just be like, gotta make Oliver proud. I gotta learn how to do it.
Spear?
Spear.
I mean, you can
I don't
have,
think
like,
she would
light...
go for a halberd because you need strength
too
behind a
heavy,
halberd
yeah.
because it's basically a big fucking axe on the end of a stick. A spear, I think, would probably be much more her
A
speed.
bit more elegant and kind of like lighter, so you can
Mhm.
bring it round, isn't it? Yeah.
And a good little stabby end.
Yeah.
I feel like a whip would be great. I like Pope's suggestion here: a small sword and a mangosh, a left-hand dagger. I could definitely see her using that, like a stiletto, and a short sword. It's very, yeah, I could see her definitely taking on a couple of. She'd never go for a heavy weapon. She'd never be.
It wouldn't fit.
Big axe or anything like that.
It
That's
doesn't
not
really fit.
It's not her thing, but
no.
So yeah, she's training in the yard. She's doing pretty well. Gets a couple of nods of approval for some guards, which is very much like. And I feel like, so for my later plans, which I will talk about, because it's good to talk about your plans, and I have to talk about it to somebody because I'll die if I don't. I feel like it's a good move that some men of the house have seen her being martial. Because right now she's just been this courtly little girl that's arrived at court, that's helping out with the paperwork. She's a little fucking nerd that sits in the dark and cleans quills, but in Dawn, martial prowess is pretty well respected. And with what Miria does at the end, she's gonna need any respect she can get within the household. So going on to that, the guards in the yard get really distracted, and Miria's like, what's happening? And people start rushing towards the private quarters of the main family at Ironwood. And immediately I was like, oh, fuck me, what is happening? Oh no, this is not great, is it? And she goes to rush to find out what's happening, and everybody's gathered around the specific quarters of Lord and Lady Ironwood. And already I'm like, which one is it? Which one? Which one? And she pushes through the door to see Mama Ironwood just sobbing her heart out. Next to her on the bed is Papa Ironwood, straight on his back. And I was like, fuck. Fuck.
Now, I have to ask, because the Dornish rules of succession are slightly different. Does the house go to the mother now, or eldest son?
Eldest son. It still goes through children.
Okay.
It would go to Mama Ironwood if there were no children. She would get the house, but because there's Horatio.
And I think I have this over here because they can also go to daughters.
Yes.
In Dorne,
yes.
Right? Let's see. I think so. There's one other sibling besides Oliver and Horatio that could be in succession, and that is
it's your sister, right?
Yeah, she's Orenna, but she's married to the current Lord of House Dane, which is another very, very powerful Dornish house. So she's out of the succession line.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Horatio's the youngest. He's the youngest of all the siblings.
Okay, we could talk about this, but sorry, as as the scene carries on, there are some certain.
So there's the sound of a cup clanking down in the corner, and Horatio stands up. He's wearing a cloak over his bedclothes. Comes over, and the maester whispers something to him, and he's like, "The blood royal is dead. He passed peacefully in his sleep. He was an old man, and I'm just glad that his last moments were peaceful." He says that a lot. He says his last moments were peaceful. I'm like, how do you know, Horatio? Were you there, motherfucker? Do you know? And the maester then proclaims Horatio to be the new blood royal, the Lord of Ironwood. And I'm like, fuck. And meanwhile, in chat, V is going, Susie, do something. Fucking say something right now. Say something right now. And I'm like, I can't. It's not the right time. This is a terrible time. And then I'm goaded by both Don and V. They're like, do it. Fucking do the stupid thing. I'm like, I'm going to do the stupid thing. So Miria steps up and she's like, hey, you're not the oldest. What about Oliver? He's not in exile anymore. He came home and he was welcomed. He was welcomed back home by Lord Ironwood and Lady Ironwood. He is no longer in exile. He is the oldest. It is his right. And Horatio is like, well, sorry, kid, but my dad didn't make the rules. He was exiled by the Prince of Dawn, so technically he's still in exile. And, you know, as much as I would love to have my family back home with me and have everybody be together once again, I can't do anything. I have to listen to the Prince of Dawn. To which Miria's like, you bow to the Martells? You are no Ironwood. And she's like, fuck off, and storms out of the room. And she, yeah,
I choose to believe that's exactly how she did it.
Yeah, hair flip and everything.
Yeah, the hair flip and yeah.
But so here's how I feel like I might be able to spin this. First of all, I go to Mama Ironwood and I'm like, I am so sorry for my outburst. I didn't know it was too much, and I'm so sorry. Are you okay? You know, my deepest condolences. I'm just very apologetic. And she'll be like, it was just pure emotion. I didn't. And she'd do that excuse with like Horatio too, be like, I was overstruck. My granddad's dead. I'm sorry. Go to Lady Jane, and Lady Jane will be like, you hate the Martells, and she'll be like, no, I don't hate the Martells. I don't hate you. You might be a Martell. Well, you're not anymore. You're an Ironwood now. Ironwood, we're family. I don't hate you. And as an Ironwood, you are now part of lineage of kings. Like, this is not a bad thing. I'm very paraphrasing here. I need to fucking formulate this properly.
That's a lot of deception right there, Susie.
It's a lot of deception. But Miria can lie out of her ass. And also, she'll be like, also, I hear you crying at night. You okay? Like, you know, we're the same age. You can chat to me. We can be friends. And meanwhile, she's like, I'm gonna kill you. And then, see, this is why I think it's important that the men saw Miria be martial, and they will continue to see Miria be martial, and she will make a bit of a display of it. The men of Ironwood are very, by the way, your husband's gonna die, but I'll look after you. Exactly, Charlie. 100%. Yeah, so again, the men of Ironwood are very, as we've seen already, they're very traditional, as it were. They're very much of we used to be kings. We are the rulers of Dawn. We are a great Dornish house. We we respect strength and pride. And so Miria is being all like, Ironwoods bow to no one. We are the blood royals. We are the kings. And I think I just want to like enforce that with the men. So even if Horatio is like, ice this little bitch, she can be like, I'm a real Ironwood. Look at me. I'm not bowing to the Martells. I have the blood of the blood royal. And I'm also very good with a knife. You respect this shit? Respect this shit. It's a fucking play. It's probably not going to work, but we'll see. Otherwise, I got a bag packed. I got Daira. We're just going to fucking huff it and go. I don't know where we're going to go.
I'll tell you what, Susie, that plan is balls. That's a lot. That's a fucking risky plan. I would have plan B.
Oh, yeah. This is why we have the little bug out bag next to the door, just in case.
Yeah. You know what? I honestly, genuinely believe as soon as Oliver comes back, I think you should get that bug out bag and go.
Mm-hmm.
Because insta arrest comes to mind when that happens. Although I suppose it depends on how many Martell guards there are and how the Ironwoods, what they would do. I'd love to see that scene.
And that's the thing we don't know about the Ironwood men right now is how much have they changed? Like, do they actually, does the army, do the Knights of the Blood Royals still believe that the Ironwood should be sovereign, that Dorne should be sovereign? I know like Oliver believes that, but I honestly don't know if his troops believe that.
No.
And that's a scary thing to find out in the moment.
Mm-hmm. My hope is
life is on the line.
Even if the regiment itself no longer believes that, and it is literally now just nothing more than semi-fancy house guards, that there's still one or two like true Dornish salt of the earth men in there that Miria can be like, you are my man. And I
Gotta
just like,
find him.
you got to find him, which is
Yeah.
why, like, Miria standing there in defiance of the Martells in her training gear, all sweaty and dirty from a morning of training, covered in sand, standing there defiant and saying, "You bow to the Martells, you are no Ironwoods." I've got to hope that, like, that springed a little ooh, in one or two of the dudes stood there, right? Being like, hey, this kid, hey. And I would love, so, like, in ancient, like, not in ancient, in, like, old Tudor courts, when there were, like, tensions within the courts, right? And people would just sort of walk around and you would know whose man was who, and there'd be a little bit of saber rattling. Like, I want that shit Ironwood so bad. Like, Miria's still there and she's still quite defiantly very, no Martells. Like, this is the true blood royal. Like, Miria's still, but she's not been, they don't have an excuse to kick her out. Even though Horatio, I think, would just, like, kick her out. If he was canny enough, I don't think he would, because I feel like he would realize it could be easily twisted, right? As far as anybody knows, Miria is his niece, and he's just throwing her out for, like, no reason.
Can I ask something? Does he know you're called Miria?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
She never revealed that Miria was or is her name. She said she was raised with the Greenmonts. So it doesn't take a lot of research to figure it out. But even if he does go, aha, you're Miria Greenmont, she'd be like, yeah. No, not
Well,
anymore.
one quick raven to a certain Targaryen, and he's right.
Yeah. But, Miria told him the truth in that she grew up as Miria Greenmont.
Yeah.
But she just found out she isn't a Greenmont. Like, that's a lie.
Oh my God, what happens, right? If you run with that lie and a Targaryen comes and he says, so you're not a Greenmont? They gave me a non-Greenmont. How pissed off is he gonna be?
He's got a Greenmont now. He's got one.
But Greenmont family lied to him for all those years.
The
well,
Greenmonts
2
didn't
years.
know.
It was
Really?
2 years, right?
Yeah.
2 years.
I can feel
Well, just
Charlie
kill him.
staring daggers at me.
Yeah, there's so many. And we thought Simon was the worst to fuck over the Greenmont family.
Just wait till I'm like, Greenmont who? I don't know Greenmonts. Bye.
That scene with Susie with Miria too. She makes her play against Horatio, but isn't it the Maester who, like, confirms him before she storms out? The Maester's like, no. We saw the Maesters of Ironwood back at the it's like the first scene of this season when we saw Horatio get married.
Yeah.
And they're red priests. And that's the thing. Like, we haven't delved into that, but there could be a whole, like, religious political motivation thing happening too with the red priests, who are very small. Like, they're basically a cult in Dorne right now. They are not popular, but they have an undue amount of influence, apparently.
I just thought Horatio was there to hear the Red Priest's prophecy, right? It says, you marry this woman and your house will fall and the way will lie unguarded. He's married this woman, his dad's dead, and now there's this upstart in his house that is threatening him. That's got to be weighing on him, right? He has to be thinking about that prophecy. Look, all I'm saying is, I wouldn't mind being the Vulture in that prophecy. I'll swoop in and I'll take what other men might leave, because secretly, always been a black man.
You know what would be a kind of interesting twist of event? You know what? No, I'm not going to say, because if it plays out, it would be really interesting. Maybe a bit further on. I could.
Go on,
I'll say. Okay, what happens, right? Oliver comes back. It all goes wrong. Shit happens, but he escapes with Miria. And Oliver realizes that no matter what he does, the political game, it's just he can't get to grips with it. It's just they're all corrupt, they're all dishonorable, they're all scum. They should bring down, they shouldn't have any of the power. And Oliver becomes the Vulture King. and starts rising up the people and you know, like, so he becomes something that he was trying to stop because he realizes that the whole thing, and that's what the Vulture King did. All the people that the higher up just forgot about and stuff like that, they all come together, and well, Oliver could do that, you know, technically. So I mean, it's kind of like one of those wacky kind of.
No, I love
I
it.
don't
But
think
it's
it's that. I don't think
possible.
it's that wacky at all.
You know, it is possible.
Oh shit. Okay. Good point. Oliver technically is the Vulture King. He did kill the last man who killed the last king.
Is that how the Vulture King is decided?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Cool.
Oliver is
You've
the
got a
Vulture King.
ruined tower, Oliver.
I hadn't thought about
Congrats.
that. It's a real fixer-upper, but
It's in a good location though, pretty well defensible.
I don't think he
Given a
would call
proper
him. I don't think he
design.
would ever call or refer to himself as the Vulture King.
No.
Well, maybe he would have to be knocked much lower. He is running
Yeah.
out of rope though. Like
Yeah.
the options
Mhm.
at the start of this campaign seemed very like more than I could possibly wrap my head around, and they're getting very narrow as
Mhm.
time goes on.
There is still one more option. Well, not one more, but there is still a very big option, and it's coming. Hopefully.
From across the sea.
From across the sea.
In shiny armor with a fucking cool sword.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Oh boy. So yeah, Lord Ironwood is dead. And Horatio is now
Oh,
yes.
sorry, can we just say, do we think Horatio had anything to do with his death, or do we think he just died of natural causes because the guy was ancient and practically walking dead?
All I'm saying is the timing is mighty fucking convenient.
It's very
Right.
convenient, isn't
And
it?
he's used poison before.
Mm-hmm.
On his weapon, he's used poison before. And everyone knows Dornish. There's only a few people that use poison. Women, Craven, and the Dornish. So, you know.
I think my guess is Horatio is definitely involved. But I do wonder, did he do it alone? Did the Maester, the Red Priest, help him? Did his mother help him?
Yeah.
Is she a part of it?
I don't think Helena had anything to do with it. I think it was the Maester and Horatio, because those two are shady bitches.
Because I mean, how quick did the Maester get in there and declaring Horatio?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was like that, wasn't it? He knew
immediately.
And they had little whispers together, right? Like little.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I reckon those two kind of. I mean, it may not have been kind of like, I don't know, like poison, but perhaps the Maester has been helping to keep him alive and keep him going, and he did a little something. Maybe he didn't give him something that he should have, or something like that. But
I think we need a Miria's first autopsy scene. Just to get in there.
Well, I know where to get a knife now, so
yeah.
Let's see what he looks like on the inside.
Whee! Oh, this is so good.
Dayro,
Blood
what's this?
everywhere.
Holds up a lung.
Yeah. Blood everywhere. Horatio comes in. Miria, would you just...
She's covered in blood up to the elbows.
Yeah.
Lord Ironwood's on the table. She's like, yes.
Yeah.
This will be you tomorrow. Take a seat.
Yeah. Take a number. Oh, God.
Ooh, Charlie. Ooh. So Charlie put in like a hypothetical line that Horatio may have said, "My father is losing his mind. He lets bastards walk the castle and my traitor brother back. It would be a mercy. Do your work, Maester."
I could see him saying that. I could see him saying that for sure.
I'm still not convinced that that Lady Ironwood wouldn't say the same thing and isn't capable. We've seen, and this is metagaming, right? Like I wouldn't act on this in character, but as a player, I have to kind of wonder, because I've seen how high her deception score is. We had to do an intrigue against her, and she kicked our ass.
She's fucking monstrous. She's a beast. See, like, Miria is she took the awareness feat, right? So she has extra dice now to noticing things. So I super want her to Nancy Drew her way around Ironwood to find out what happened. And I really want to talk to Mama Ironwood to be like, give her my condolences, obviously, as a good granddaughter should. And also find out what she knows.
I look forward to that conversation. I really look forward to
Oh,
that.
she's a fucking intrigue monster, but we've already sown the seeds of division between her and Horatio. So if I can be like,
Or so you think.
so I think
See,
that's the thing.
it. She
We
could
don't
be
know.
like
she
8D
could be lying.
chess. You know?
It could be, yeah. It could be fucking 5D chess for all I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really want to get in there, and I want to like speak to like Mama Ironwood. I want to speak to Lady Jane. I want to speak to Horatio to find out if my little outburst changed anything there. I assume that it did. It would be smart of me to assume that it did. But I want to see how much I could play that off as like, oh, I just had an outburst of female emotion. It was terrible, you know?
See, with me, with Lady Ironwood, the reason this is what I took from it, and I'm kind of coming from an innocent point of view that I'm seeing her as face value, which is probably stupid, but like I genuinely believe that she loves her entire family. She loves her children, every child, and she loved her husband. And you can clearly see she loved her husband unconditionally. So Oliver did that riff with Horatio and caused the thing, she saw Oliver destroying the family. They weren't close together anymore, and he brought such shame on the family that he was exiled. Now, I think she still loves Oliver, but she obviously saw how much that was damaging to the family and to Horatio. And she understands that Horatio, may not be the nicest of people, but it's still her son, and the fact that they were fighting with one another and you almost killed him, that would weigh heavy on any mother, regardless of any child. So I think I kind of just thinking she's coming from it from a place of love, that she just wants her family and her children to be okay, or she could be just a conniving bitch that's just playing.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen her as well be very, very involved with the running of the house and making sure the house is staying afloat. So in a stability sense,
didn't she?
Well, I mean, there's the Maester. The Maester should have done half the work she was doing, if not all of it. But she did it personally. But I can see it in like a stability sense. Horatio is married to Martell, a young Martell. She's probably going to give him a load of kids, which means the family will live on for a couple of generations. It will be nice and stable. However, if Oliver came back and took control, Oliver has no legal heir.
Where's your kid, Oliver?
He's parading around another kid as his heir.
That's a good point. Oliver never settled down.
No.
That's not what a lord should do. A lord, or the son of a lord, should get married and give,
especially the eldest, right? The eldest's job is to get married ASAP, is to get a very good marriage ASAP and have a shit ton of kids to make sure that that line stays secure. So Oliver did not do that. But I mean, he was kicked out of his house for like 30 odd years. But also, going back to her doing all the work instead of the Maester, she clearly doesn't trust the Maester. There's clearly something there, otherwise she would let the Maester do the work. I mean, there is the whole like, oh, I'm a workaholic and I like to have a hand in things. But then there's like doing every job when the Maester is doing nothing in his tower. There's something about that Maester and Helena, they just...
Maybe he's just a really
What does he do in the tower? What's going on in that tower?
What does he... I need to get back in that tower.
Oh, yeah. How's your lockpicking skill?
I've got it.
Yes.
I have a plan. We'll have a training injury.
Holy fuck, yes.
And then they'll be like,
there's a real age problem with the house. Like the Maester's like 86, the father's like 80, even Lady Ironwood's 70. Oliver's old. Horatio's the youngest one. He's like 45, right? So time is very, very much running out for the Ironwood family without an heir. It kind of in some ways mirrors some of the problems that House Greenmont's been having until black magic happened.
Demon baby.
Until Demon baby happened. So there's that too, which complicates everything, because any wrong decision at this point could be the end of the house.
Yeah.
So
It's
As bad as things have just gotten at Ironwood for like Oliver and Miria, because the situation at Ironwood's got bad for Oliver too. Like this is not just a Miria problem. This is an Oliver problem too. Love you, Charlie. So as bad as things have got there, they've also just gotten super interesting. And I feel like this is now going to be a time for some real intense intrigue, some real intense snooping, some real good, like, sneaky, backhanded, back and forth, like, espionage subterfuge stuff. And I'm here for it.
I can't wait for the intrigue, the Miria on an intrigue spree throughout Ironwood Castle. It's just everywhere.
She's got a list. Okay, so today we're going to do Jane.
Like when you have to press square on the remote control to like challenge somebody in a video game to a card game in an RPG. She's just walking around the castle pressing square like intrigue.
That's it.
It's like challenging everybody to Gwent every 5 minutes.
Yep.
Like, Northern Realms deck, here we go.
Are they doing... Oh, go ahead, Susan.
No, sorry.
It's going to be another topic, that's all.
Oh, no, move on to another topic.
Well, I was just thinking that we talk about Miria and Sir Oliver, but Mara obviously now is left with Alistair. Did she say she was going to House Greenmont, or was she going straight to Oak?
Well, that actually does take us to our next scene, which is a very good segue, Tom.
Oh, I totally meant to do that.
So after the death of the Blood Royal and the proclamation of the new fake Blood Royal, don't recognize him, fake. We move back to Vulture's Roost, and Mara is with Alistair, and she's sort of shepherding out. They're getting all the men together. Alistair's issuing commands from beneath his little padded handkerchief because his nose and lips got a boo-boo. And hashtag not my Blood Royal. Exactly. And she sees this banner coming over the hills, a yellow banner bearing a black vulture with a fresh pink baby in its claws. And I immediately went, oh no, I did this. I made this happen because at the beginning of the season, Miria sent a letter to Blackmont saying, hey, come get your dad. He's being a tit in the mountains. Please go get him before everybody goes and gets him themselves and sort your shit out. Please, for the love of God, get him.
Do you remember when Simon was the shit stirrer of this family?
Look, it was one of the conditions of Blackmont letting Miria leave at Vulture's Roost. He was like, do this for me and you are free. I mean, she was going to go anyway. After that intrigue, which, by the way, y'all never... still... She promised she would do it, and she did. And so after the battle is done, after Blackmont is dead, here comes Marwyn Blackmont, who is the oldest son of Edmund Blackmont, and he comes and he sees Mara, and Mara's like, oh hey cousin, and he's like, who the fuck are you? And she's like, oh, I'm Mara Oakhart, formerly Greenmont. And he's like, what are you doing here, Mara? And she's like, oh yeah, she says, we came here with a host under the orders of the Prince Maekar. Something along those lines is what V said as Mara. And I'm like, oh my God. She made it sound like the prince had sent them to Vulture's Roost to get Blackmont. And
didn't she say something like she was following the prince's orders?
Following the prince's orders.
Which technically she is by retreating.
She's leaving, right? And I think V may have got a bit confused there, and so she's saying, we're leaving on the orders of the prince, but it kind of came out as, we came here on the orders of the prince. And Marwyn is like, well, I've come to get my dad. And she's like, good luck, basically. And he's like, do you have him? Give him to me. And she's like, well, I don't have him. They've got him in the tower. Whoever's won has him. And she's like, if I were you, I'd just fucking turn around and go home, because it's not going well for him. You don't need to be involved with that. Just leave for your own sakes. There's been enough bloodshed here today. The prince is on his way. You don't want to get tangled up in that shit. And because he let Mara speak, she kicks his ass in a little intrigue, and he went, all right. And he turned and walked away. And so Marwyn Blackmont abandoned his dad, who he didn't know was splattered on the ground.
Oh,
like
no.
100 feet away.
I thought he continued to the Tower. He just left the
No,
entry.
he turned and walked away.
Holy shit.
He left.
Dude, he can't really like his dad.
Well, I mean, now it
It's
depends.
probably just as well. I mean, if he found him, he'd probably need a sponge and a black bag at this present moment.
I really felt like he was there for information, and when he got it, he was like, all right, I have everything I need to make whatever decision, whatever terrible choice as a Blackmont I'm bound to make. I now know.
Contractually obliged as a Blackmont to make a bad decision.
Obliged.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what Marwyn's game is. I know he's probably important because Sam had a really cool description for him when he came into the scene, and I was like, oh, I don't think Sam would have put that much description into him. If it's like when you bring in a big name actor for a bit part, you're like,
We actually clarified after the session, and Marwyn left. Sam said, I said, did he go into the tower? And Sam went, no, he left.
Oh, see, because I think I left early.
Yeah.
Straight after or something. Oh no, because I wasn't in the call, so I would have just went straight to bed.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that he left the intrigue and carried on to the tower, because I was like going, oh shit, Oliver's now got another Blackmont he's got to wipe the floor with, so he may as well just wipe out the entire family. He's halfway there, as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we don't know about the Blackmonts and how close they were. So Marwyn could have hated his dad for all we know and was just waiting for him to fucking die so he could take over the house.
That's it. I mean, he's in charge now.
Yeah.
That's it. He's in charge.
Marwyn already has a wife and a kid, so he's ready to just take the house. So we don't know what the relationship with Blackmont's going to be like.
But if you're Marwyn, if you're the new Lord Blackmont, and you found out that the Prince Targaryen has ordered a host, because this is the information as presented to him. The Prince Targaryen has ordered a host to go in and grab your father, like a whole army. Are you then not sweating? Because it's not far from House Blackmont and Vulture's Roost. Are you not sweating to think that like the prince is just going to come straight and march on and take everything that's yours?
Right?
Fuck yeah. If I was him, I'd get straight back into Blackmont and, I don't know, get as much fucking gold as I could possibly get and try and buy my way out of it.
Well, maybe that's why he was so quick to dipset, right? Maybe he was like, oh, this has clearly ended bad for my dad. I'm going to go home and shore up our defenses because we're going to get a royal host on our ass real soon. So maybe and he'll just like beg for the crown's forgiveness and be like, look, that's my dad. That's not me.
Maybe he'll start a civil war.
I mean, what support would he have? No one. Hey, I killed your dad, but I like what you're doing with your politics.
Oliver didn't kill Blackmont. That's
true.
Oliver tried to save Blackmont.
He doesn't need to know that.
Could be like, dearest cousin, thanks for your letter with the heads up. Do you want to start a war? And Mary would be like, yes, and my God's dad is in too. Let's go. Blackfyre 2. We'll add that to the name. Tali. There we go. Alfred, hello, this is Miria. Do you remember we used to play pranks on Oliver as kids? Do you want to bring some soldiers over from the east? Thanks.
This would be a lot easier if we had like a group chat. Like we had like a group for all the family members.
Westerosi like, group chat?
Yeah, Wattsbird or something like that.
Wattsbird?
What's Raven?
Raven?
What's Raven or something? That'd be
Raven app.
Raven app.
Yeah, we need a family chat. And it would just be Marty going, come home now. Stop it.
Seriously, people just do not want to come home to Greenmont. I don't know what. Does the place smell? I mean, what?
Well, it's a bit tainted by blood magic now, isn't it? Like,
just a bit. I mean,
really cursed now.
Can't get that demon baby smell out of it once you've done that, is it? Do we think Mara's gone back? Did she say she was going back to Greenmont on the way home?
She did say, yeah. Her and Alistair were talking, and he's like, well, the quickest way would be past Starpike, but I don't want to go that way. And Mara was like, well, I want to go see Lady Marzia and my brothers. And I was like, brother. But she doesn't know. Obviously, nobody in the family knows that baby's gone.
No one.
No.
No one at all.
Nobody's I don't even think anybody's left House Greenmont since it happened. They've
No.
been like on lockdown almost, right?
You're right. Wait,
I guess
no,
we don't know. We don't
Babelbrook.
really know.
No,
Babelbrook.
the
Oh,
only
he's
one
gone.
was a courier who gave the message to
That's
Mara,
right.
but it was just like, here you go. That's all he said. He didn't say
Right,
any
'cause
more.
Maker's the one who wrote the letter.
Yeah.
So he just omitted the fact that he took one of the Greenmont children from the letter. Like he just never put it in there.
Yeah, and the courier never said anything because
Mm.
Matsu
Not
just
his
turned to the
place,
courier and said,
yeah.
"Keep Mara safe." That was it.
Mhm.
She didn't pass on any other
Yeah.
message or a hollow heart. It was one of our men.
Yeah.
So yeah, nobody knows because Lana's gone with the Bab. Babelbrook was gone before Maekar even arrived. Rob is at Highgarden, getting beaten to death. Thanks,
Poor
Simon.
bastard. It was a fate worse than death. And Sam is thinking of it.
So yeah, so Mara's gonna be like, "I'm home, mother," and Matsu's just gonna be like massive red eyes and puffy from
Yeah.
crying, and she'll be like, "What's up?" She'll be like, "My baby's gone."
Yeah.
Or
Well, that's
that,
a good,
or she's like locked in her room and just doesn't want to talk to anyone ever again.
that's a good point as well. Oliver doesn't know Alfred's gone.
Nope.
Alfred is, according to Oliver, he thinks Alfred is still at Fox Hollow.
Yeah, he is. He assumes he's at Fox Hollow
Yeah.
because Alfred went down like immediately after Oliver left, right?
Yes, because
Yeah.
he went searching under the orders of Marcia to find what was it actually? Why was I was going to Blackmont?
You were looking for the Vulture
Oh,
King, right?
we were looking for information on the Raiders. That was it, and
Yep.
he was going out, and then yeah.
Yep. Like Oliver knows nothing. Like Mary knows nothing either about what's been happening at Fox Hollow. So I can just imagine like Oliver coming back, like, "Hey, Matsu, ready to get married?" And she's gonna be like, "How dare you come back here?"
Yeah, Salistries are right next to her. She's smooth.
We've been trying to come back the right way. We've been trying really hard.
Have you?
it's
I mean, a lot of people have died, so I feel like that's means effort was put in.
Yeah. There's a lot of bodies in between. Effort was expended. So yeah, that's pretty much sums it up for the episode because it basically ended right there because Sam was like, "Oh, I'm done. I can't. This was too much. This is too much."
Yeah, it was a lot.
Our timeline very drastically diverged from canon timeline because Gorman Peak is supposed to die way later at the hands of Bloodraven. Bloodraven kills him because he's part of a plot to put
Daemon's son.
That's it, Daemon's son on the throne.
Daemon's
instead.
Pathetic excuse as
who is alive, but like he's young, he's much too young now to actually be any kind of figurehead for a rebellion.
Well, Alfred met him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Alfred met him.
Congratulations, you met the Mystery Knight.
I did, yeah. I've Alfred's met quite a few
Celebrities over there.
like he's got it on his docket. It's going well.
Some highfalutin people over
And now
there.
he's in King's Landing, maybe a few more while he's there.
You never know. You might see the king.
Ooh.
Oh my god, the heist is at the Hans Tawny, right? The king will
Is
be
that right?
there.
If this heist works, it's gonna be fucking.
I wonder
big.
if there's wildfire beneath King's Landing, or is that happened later?
No,
right?
that happened later.
Yeah,
I don't
it did.
even know if they have any wildfire at the moment.
I feel like wildfire should never be allowed to fall into the hands of players in a Game of Thrones campaign.
No, because that is just like handing a player a nuke and going, enjoy.
Oof. Okay, so we have like 10 minutes left. We're open to any questions, any statements, anything you folks in chat would like to discuss. Do you have any tinfoil? Have you any theories? Any suggestions for how we might unfuck ourselves? Please do let us know. They're going to have some kind of fire once we get done with the heist. Oh, I'm so excited for this heist.
Seriously, if this heist gets pulled off, everyone in the Seven Kingdoms is going to be talking about it. Everyone.
I'm excited.
It's it's silly, but if we pull it off, which is a big if, because it's really hard, it'll be one of those like, I'll leave it at that. It'll be
Like you will not have seen a spectacle like it
Yeah.
in any game. Just saying.
That's a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Trust me. When we came up with this plan, it was me, Charlie, and Tom on a call, and we were like, what if we do this? And then all three of us were like, yes.
we didn't think about how to actually do it. We just liked the idea and went with it.
Sorry, Don, what were you saying there? I cut you off.
Just that I have no idea what your heist plans are. Like, I have no idea what you've got planned, but you've been talking about it for a long time. I'm really, really excited to see it come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we can tell you afterwards if you want to know, or if you want to be surprised.
No, I love being surprised.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. We'll keep it under wraps.
We do need to talk to Sam. We do need to talk to Sam big time.
Because he does need to help us. Like, he needs to know what we want to do so he can facilitate it. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
Pope says there is no unfucking. All of Matt's plans involve wildfire. And Arbelin says black magic is the only sane way out. Question from Pope. What allies outside of Dawn and the Reach would help the family's plans?
Which family?
So,
because there are
do
two
we
in play
think
at the moment.
we could appeal to the Starks?
Fuck
and
no.
say, look,
No.
if we can free Dawn, that sets a precedent. The North could be free. Huh?
I think at this point, though, the Starks are a lot less
they're all
politically involved. Yeah, they're not that politically involved. They're very isolated.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be tough. We'd have to assassinate a Lord Stark and like blame it on the Martells or something.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have to go pretty far, I think, to get them involved.
So,
but there's Essos.
We assassinate Lord Stark. I marry the next Lord Stark, and then I'm like, "Hey, hubby, freedom? Eh?
You want to go somewhere warm?
North's fucking cold. Good down south.
I've been there.
I bet we could get.
That sounds filthy.
Could we get? You can confirm this for me. Can we get Bear Island?
Yes.
Could we convince Sana?
How are you going to convince her? Who was it?
Lady Crane.
Lady Crane. Yeah,
right. That's right.
That's all we need.
Leverage.
Or one good night. That's yeah.
One good night with a good night.
I mean, after
Baratheons era, maybe.
It would have to depend on how high of a bastard she was.
True.
The
Lannisters are pushovers right now.
They're nobodies for a long time, aren't they? Really, they're just kind of rich and they kind of stick to themselves.
We have money too, though. Like, money is not our biggest. Like, it's people.
Shag, people, shag.
Right.
That's what we need you to do. We need to do a fertility festival. That's what we need to do.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Actually, actually, we should be due like a stewardship for the house, right? I'm gonna ask Sam if we could do a fertility festival. Oh, well, not me personally, because I'm not.
It's just a festival of fucking at Fox Hollow.
Just like a fuck fest all over Fox Hollow. You know?
Charlie screaming in chat, I did a ritual and you all yelled demons.
There is a difference between a black magic ritual and a festival that encouraged people to get it on. You know, there is a big difference.
Ooh, question from Jason here. So let's say best case scenario happens. Blackfyre gets the Iron Throne. How do they keep it? Kill all the Targaryens.
Fist.
Rewrite history.
Yeah.
Kill the Targies. Kill the Targy loyalists at court.
Yeah, the same way that any king takes over, you get rid of the people who are against you and put your people in.
And you marry off, like you marry into the survivors, so that you don't have to kill entire families.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll marry a Tyrell if it means we get to control Highgarden. As we've seen, Leo does fuck all. It's his wife, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, there's already a Dornish woman that's basically running Highgarden.
it's true.
But I don't know that Blackfyre is necessarily the best case scenario either.
No, it's not. It's really
No,
not.
it's really not.
Yeah, let's do a massive civil war again.
What we need to kill is the Martells.
I'm all about civil war, but I think we can do better than the Blackfyres this time around. We just have to figure that out because they're just more Targaryens, right?
Yeah, pretty much. They're just
And they had a charismatic leader, but he died.
But the thing
their
is,
son,
not yet anyway. Maybe he'll grow up slightly different than he does in canon.
What he needs is his Uncle Alfred to teach him how to be good and strong and courageous and worthy of fighting.
Oh yeah, because that's done well for Alfred so far, hasn't it?
Hey, look, it only cost him an eye.
Only, yeah, that's true. Maybe that could have been the best. It's possible that could have been the best thing to happen to Alfred, and now all things are looking up.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, minus the press gang, and now having to deliver.
Look, you say press gang, I say rising in the ranks of an up-and-coming military force.
I'll tell you this now. Alfred probably felt quite at home in that military force because he liked the order. He likes in that kind of thing. He got used to it during the Blackfyre Rebellion. So he probably got, there was not a huge amount of responsibility on his shoulders, So he probably enjoyed it to a certain extent. He was still a prisoner.
Just saying, Alfred's probably got a good role. He's probably going to be a captain in a PMC real soon. Like, he's doing it, right? Like, he's rising
doing well.
the ranks.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He's the leader of this heist, right? Didn't they make him like in charge of it?
Yeah, it's a suicide
that's a big
mission.
Jump.
It's a suicide mission. Let's be honest.
Well,
and when he said everyone in there will get a golden dragon, oh, Daemon Blackfyre, for fuck's sake! You may as well just smelt it down, and
So I just want to point to chat here. Charlie says King Oliver has a ring to it.
Do you have a connection to anyone on the Iron Throne? As in, do you have any blood or claim to the Iron Throne? Because that's the hardest part, to get a claim on it when you need an in with the Targaryen family. Otherwise, you don't really have a claim, and that's what gets people to your cause. So, does Oliver have any claim?
Greenmont does.
No, Greenmont does.
We do now.
Oliver doesn't.
Yeah.
I also don't think Oliver. He would never want to sit on the Iron Throne.
Oliver isn't.
He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be king of Westeros.
No.
He's more worried about Dorne.
Yeah. No, I mean, kind of, Jason. I mean, like, it really is when you think about it. It really is whoever's got the bigger army who can hold it is. But how you get the bigger army is through the blood. Even Robert Baratheon, far back, they had a bit of Targaryen blood on them. That's why he was able to sit the.
Well, it was
throne.
a Baratheon that was married to Jaehaerys' mother, Alyssa. And then they had a child. I'm listening to Fire and Blood at the moment.
Yeah. I didn't.
But
know
the Baratheons and the Targaryens have been pretty close for a bit until Robert's Rebellion. Yeah, there was just a whole section where they were like the Baratheons were bannermen to the Targaryens and like loyalists.
See, because I've only heard from the actual book, and all I remember is that there was a very loose blood claim by the Baratheons on the Iron Throne, but they don't go into much more detail than that.
Yeah, and he was the hand of the king, that particular Baratheon, but he did marry Queen Alyssa. Then they had a big fall, and Jaehaerys was like, "You'll fucking go back to my mother, or I'll kill you, you twat." And he was like, "All right." And then she had a baby, and the seed was strong.
Oh my!
Because it's Baratheon. I'm up to Jaehaerys at the minute, and oh boy, that kid. So, yeah. I don't know. If you could pick a kingdom to rule in Westeros, which one? Dawn, obviously. It's nice and warm. I feel like that's a betrayal of the North. and everything I stand for as a Yorkshire woman.
It is
but
kind of a betrayal, isn't it?
the North shit. In
Yeah.
Westeros.
Probably.
It's shit.
You get like giant wolves and like sometimes
Yeah, and it's always
like
cold.
armies of people dressed in fur climb over a giant ice wall and just wipe out your village.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty rough. Probably, you know what? Probably the Reach. That seems to be the most luscious. You know, green.
The Reach is pretty nice.
You know, you're basically the main center where all the food comes from. You know, I've always liked the idea of the Stormlands, kinda, but probably the Reach for the money and the ease of life, and you got pleasant weather all the time, most of the time. And
Where are the best
the only
beaches?
problem is Dornish raiders, but you slap them back and it's all good.
Oh.
And, okay, and when you think about it, if you're in the Reach, right, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump from party time in Dorne. So you can go back between the two, you know?
Dorne's like your Cancun.
Yeah. You know, yeah.
I don't think you've ever sounded more American. This is basically like, just pop down to Mexico to have a good time, but when they try and come in our borders, nope.
That's true. That's a true Reacher way, though, isn't it? That's a true Reacher kind of attitude.
What about you, Don? Where would you rule?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Dorne, to be honest. It's beautiful down there, and it's got those mountains, so it's kind of away from everybody else. And even though they're ruled by the elite interests of foreigners, they still kind of have a little bit of their freedom comparatively, like the North does. Maybe I saw Pope mention Dragonstone. I think Dragonstone's super cool.
Pretty damn good.
And also, nobody goes there and messes with that either. You know, Dragonstone's kind of,
it's like one of the strongest fortresses in the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, and it's beautiful too. I think being me personally, wherever the best beaches are, that's where I would.
Yeah.
So probably Sunspear, Dragonstone.
I think I would like Dragonstone for the aesthetic, because that's where you could go and be really dramatic and stand on a windswept cliff and just be the ultimate just.
Don't they have kind of like dragons sculpted into the thing and stuff, and gargoyles, and they've got
and it's made of like obsidian shit. Like it's like it's a goth's dream is Dragonstone.
Yeah.
But yeah, free Dawn. #free Dawn. #kill the Martells.
Dawn will never be free. Sorry, they won't. Even in Game of Thrones, Dawn wasn't free. The North got free before fucking Dawn.
Yeah, that was because season 8 was a fucking travesty. Because that prince was like, hey, the North's getting their freedom. That's fine, I don't care.
Yeah. Did you see? Oh, no, we could go into... No.
All I have to say is they interviewed the guy who played that random Dornish prince, and he said, don't really understand why he wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, even the actor.
Not gonna say it.
Anyway.
My tinfoil is that in the books that Dorne will also become free at the end. I truly, truly believe that the books will free Dorne.
Yep.
I don't think the North will be free. I don't think any of them will be free in the books.
They'll all be dead?
No, but I just don't think Martin will have the North free. I think they'll just get bitch slapped into back serving the Iron Throne again. Maybe they might give him a bit more autonomy, you know, like a bit more kind of thing. But yeah, I think most of the North is going to be wiped out, if I'm honest, in the book. You know, no
more season 8 discussion.
No.
All right. Okay. Do we have any last questions in here before we wrap up? Actually, just general question for you two, because we're in the second half of the season now. We hit episode 6. Is there anything you would like to see before we hit the end of this season?
Yes. I want everyone all together in one room.
I think I would. That's the thought that immediately popped to my mind too. I would love to see that happen. I don't know how it could happen.
Yeah,
but I would love to see that happen.
That's what I want. I want everyone in one room, at Fox Hollow. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but Fox Hollow will be probably the most logical place that everyone will be. And you sit down and we go, right, let's sort this shit out. End season. You know?
I want it to be like a party. I want it to be like a really nice moment because so much bad shit has happened to the
We
family.
would do a few nice moments.
Right.
You know?
I
But
want
then, like,
Maria
right
to
at
go
the end-
home. I want her to be able to see Marcia again. I want her to be able to just be at home if it's just for a day.
Yeah.
But she can't.
I mean, technically she could.
Not right now.
It just wouldn't last
She
very long.
can't.
It might be like 5 minutes and okay, there you go.
I worry, like, if Miria showed up at Fox Hollow right now after Marcia's lost, had one of her children's been taken by Maekar. I question whether or not Marcia would just immediately apprehend Miria and send her.
Oh, I reckon she would, in the hopes that she could get her son back. Like, look, I found her. She's here. Gimme.
It's like a desperate bargaining chip.
Oh yeah.
I think Marcia knows that baby's never coming back, but yeah, like if
Worth
she
a
was
shot.
truly desperate, if Miria came back at a time of like peak grief for Marcia when she's just completely lost it, maybe. Or Miria comes back and Marcia just can't even look at her anymore. That would make me actually cry.
Gut wrench that would have been. Ooh, you got to do that. Charlie, remember.
Marcia is just like...
I am genuinely interested. I am genuinely interested. I would love... I just want to see the interactions with everyone. That's what I'm looking forward to. Every interaction with everyone all together, you know, for the first time ever. Because we've never all been in the same place. I would just want that interaction with everyone for the first time, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes. I would love it. That's my...
That's a little family reunion. I think it would be, like, as much as we're like, oh, we want it to be a real nice moment, it would be so sad. Because everybody has changed so much. And everybody has lost so much. That not a single one of us are the same person as we were when we started.
No. That's another... Actually, I would just like to think about personalities. I didn't realize how stubborn Sir Oliver was. What a and he will not compromise. When he's got an idea in his head and he's got a plan, there is not a person alive, maybe Miria, to change his mind. He is stubborn. Even if someone comes up with a better idea, Oliver will say, no, my way. My way.
He's not like, he is vulnerable to certain people, and he has been in his past, but it's been a consistent problem for him. Even though he's a lot more, as an older knight, he's much more even keeled than he was when he was younger. His like dedication to doing what he thinks is right is why he killed Martell, which was justified because Martell killed his younger brother, but that's why he got exiled. It's why a lot of things have happened for Oliver. Here's my sad thought about how we could all come together is, what if all of us except for one of us came together because of a funeral? And it was one of the characters' funeral.
Whose funeral, though? Who would get everyone together?
Whoever
Probably
has
Oliver.
the worst dice rolls.
Marcia? Oh my god, so if Marcia died, and God forbid one of the babies, the remaining baby died, then that's like a rush for the house. But also we would get together for the family, you know, like our mother, sister, future wife has died. That would be juicy.
God damn.
Oh,
Well, I'm
really
pretty sure all babies have plot armor, don't they?
think so.
Yeah.
Or do they?
I
They
don't
had
know.
plot armor for the birth. That doesn't mean
That's
they
a good
have
point.
life plot armor.
That's a good
This is
point. That's a
Westeros.
very good point. Yeah. I mean, that would be a mad rush.
And
to
that
House
would
Greenmont.
force everybody back home, because then it's who takes the house.
Who would take that? Well, they still got Demon Baby. No, not Demon Baby. Was Demon Baby taken?
Demon
or
Baby was warded.
Still got Demon Baby, so he would be the heir.
Maybe. But Demon Baby is currently at Summerhall.
Or en route.
En route.
A lot of things can go wrong en route.
Um,
And no matter who the heir is, you still have to make like a legal case. If there's an argument, if somebody's like, no, I'm the heir, unless you have the resources to actually fight them,
Yeah, you
then
need
you're
people to
kind of
back
screwed.
up. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need backup. You like some noble houses behind you saying yes.
mhm,
You know, if you get like a lot of noble houses around you saying yes, this person will do it. It's more of an influence,
mhm.
really. You've got
So
tiny
that's
bit
why,
of
like, so say baby's out of the equation. Mara's no cart, so not her.
Nope.
Simon's a maester, not him. It would be Miria, but Miria is a traitor to the crown. She is not going to get the support of lords. She would have to come back, which would be a whole problem in itself. So it would be Lana,
Yeah,
and Lana's at Summerhall.
Regents, yeah. And then you're getting really thin on choices.
You know what could have, if Alfred had just decided to pursue his birthright,
Could have been Alfred.
could have been Alfred.
I mean,
Maybe it's not too late.
it may not be too late. It may not be too late. But
Alfred needs other people to
well,
back up that he's
he
a
needs to be
bastard.
legitimized by the king.
Well, you need to prove it, right? And Lucas is dead, so he can't say my kid unless he's written it down somewhere. But even then, papers can be forged. Then there's Alfred's mum can be like, yeah, I banged Lucas.
She's
and then
lowball
Oliver's not really gonna be that good of a character witness with the crown.
Not shortly.
Mm-mm.
Not soon.
I can just imagine Oliver using that as an excuse just to get close enough to the king. just
He wouldn't get past the gold cloaks. Like,
what gold cloaks as he swings his pole arm as he cuts his
actually,
way
yes, he
through.
would. Like, the gold cloaks are coming. He'd kill all 7 of them in one
just
fucking
boom,
hit.
boom.
All right,
It's like-
King, your turn.
Yeah, it's like Sabaris and Selmy, isn't it? I could cut through you like it was nothing.
You're nothing but boys. Yeah. So let's not think about the succession problem of the house because we still
No.
didn't fix it.
We're fine. She's got 2 kids. They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. Okay, so right. Let's wrap up because it's 10:15 now, and Tom
Yes.
needs to go to bed because he's
I
a
do.
busy boy. What if Oliver the Rora prequel version of Sebastian?
Jeez. I mean, there are similarities.
And he was a lot more fiery in his youth. We only really see him at the end of his life when he's even older than Oliver is currently, I think.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
he does mention a lot about his foolish youth, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, and out
And Barristan wins Blackfyre Rebellion number 5 in the books by killing like the most monstrous of all of the Blackfyres. He's got like 2 heads, like one head that's on his shoulder that's smaller than the other heads, and the Blackfyre can like knock off a donkey's head by punching it. Like he's like superhumanly strong.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I feel like
kick
we
his
need
ass.
flashbacks. I feel like we need more flashbacks because I really enjoyed the
I would
one
love
of
that.
Miria
I like
and Oliver.
flashbacks, yeah.
I want to see other people. I want to see back when we were a happy family together before it all went to shit. But anyway, that's going to be it from us for tonight. Make sure to tune in, not next Thursday, the Thursday after, which will be, hang on, let me get my calendar, the 7th of November.
N7 day.
7, blessed by the 7, it's going to work.
Oh, everything's coming all aligned.
We got the blessing of the 7. It's gonna work. For Alfred's heist, that's not really a heist, it's a body drop. But we're gonna do it in a very, very obnoxious and very good way.
It's so fucking stupid.
We aren't getting out of this alive. So
But
tune
it's
in
gonna
for that
be
on the
great.
7th of November, right here on RPG Webby. Let me see if Sam has a command for this. In the meantime, if you are new to the channel, you can go to the YouTube to watch previous episodes. Did you do it? Oh, you did it!
He did.
Good lad. So hit that link if you're new to the channel and you like what you've seen today and you liked just us bullshitting. Hit that and watch what we're talking about. Join us in the Juicy Fruits. And if you want to join us for some discussion, hit that Discord and make sure to follow that and join us in the After the Fyre channel. Join us in the Tinfoil channel for your theories. Join us in the Juicy Fruits for your spoilers and your juicy moments. And make sure to follow us on those commands listed in chat. Thank you very much, Charlie, for being a very good mod. All right, we are out. We have been After the Fyre, the #1 chat show for After the Fyre. Good evening, Westeros. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.